Sorry. So that's the story of Hanukkah in reality. Just some facts about Hanukkah. It happened 2,147 years ago, and the miracle that we all know about is that they had a little when they came back to rededicate the temple and sanctity. They actually didn't have to use ritually pure olive oil, but they wanted to. They had such a high from the biggest miracle of the story of Hanukkah is there was a big army of about 40,000 people, and they came to wipe out this small little group of priests in Modin. I mean, they collected quite an army, but it wasn't. They were outnumbered vastly, and they slaughtered their enemies. I mean, this was the big miracle of Hanukkah. This is what we actually celebrate. When they came back from Modin to Yerushalayim, and they went into the temple, they saw everything was defiled, and they wanted to light the menorah. And it took them. There was a town called Tekoa where they used to press olives for olive oil, and that journey from Jerusalem to Tekoa was a 4-day journey. So they'd go there, they'd come back. So they only had enough of this one oil for 1 day to burn. So they didn't know what to do. And technically, according to Jewish law, they didn't need to use this special oil. They could have used any oil, but they were on such a high. They wanted to do everything as holy as possible. So they lit it, and the first day wasn't a miracle. But then the next 7 days, somehow it kept burning the same oil until finally they came back from Tekoa and they had new oil and they were able to make this eternal, to make this lamp that was supposed to always be lit to make it light forever. So they ask a few questions like why, if the miracle is really only 7 days, the first day wasn't a miracle, so why we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days? So one answer is that the first day we're actually celebrating the military victory. That's what we're celebrating the first day, and the next day we're celebrating that the oil also lasted for these 7 days. The second answer is that really finding even one cruse of oil was a big miracle with the seal of the high priest, because these Syrian Greeks were so into defiling everything. Whenever they saw anything with sanctity, with like Hebrew letters or anything, they made a point to slash it and then tear it apart. That God had reserved one special cruse of oil was a big miracle. So we're celebrating that on the first day, and then it lasted 7 miraculous days. There's also a nice thing with olive oil. It says somewhere in Psalms that your children will be, it's like a saying of blessing, there'll be like olive shoots around your table, something like this. So they ask, what's so special about olive oil? What is this big thing? So if you look at olive oil, the substance, it's one of the only things that does not mix with almost any other liquid. It doesn't mix with water. It doesn't mix with almost anything. And yet it has a way of absorbing itself into almost anything, into any food. Vegetables absorb olive oil. Anything will absorb it, but it won't mix with anything. So that's the blessing of a person who raises his children in a Jewish manner, that they will not become mixed. They will not become assimilated. Meaning the Jew will always know that they're a Jew, and no matter how harsh the exile is. And yet somehow the Jew will have this ability to permeate, to infuse the society he lives in with his special Jewish qualities, with his special, uniquely Jewish outlook and perspective. And this to me is really the message. They make a lot of jokes now. They compare the two, the holiday to the other day. But nothing could be further from the truth. This is really a celebration of Jewish identity. And it's a constant and eternal reminder that God himself will not let the Jewish people be erased from this planet. And God himself will not let the Jewish people forget their promise of we will do and we will listen. He said when the Jews were brought to Har Sinai, so God held a mountain over their head. And he said to them, do you want to keep the Torah? So this was like it was under duress. They said, yeah, we will do and we will listen. It's a midrash. But basically, it's for the Jews' own good, and it's for really the creation of the world, is just that the Jews should keep the Torah. This is something that God himself won't allow to be erased. And if you look at it, it's a sheer miracle. The fact that there's even 14 million people who go on this planet that call themselves Jews, descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, from the 12 tribes, or converts, the Orthodox converts to Judaism. It's a sheer miracle because there's been so much anti-Semitism, so much open hatred of the Jewish people throughout our history, that the fact that we're still here, you should rejoice, you should celebrate, you should feel so special and so unique, and there's nothing wrong with that. Even now, this Kislev, they took Jews for being Jewish, and they said they intentionally targeted these Jews in India, and they took their lives, and they were only in this work of spreading Judaism to whoever wanted it. But this is a problem. The religious response to the Hellenists, to the people who say, let's just be Americans, let's just be Frenchmen, let's just be Polish, the response is, it's not our choice, and God Himself won't permit it. You know, we're down to, I think, at the highest estimate here is 10% of the Jews are Orthodox. Some people say as low as 7%. But God Himself won't let our people be erased. And if we were meant to be one stupid regular nation, not the other nations are stupid or regular, but if we were just going to be, there's 70 nations and the Jews are just going to be 71 nations, what would be the point of the hard exile? What would be the point of every single pogrom, of every single crusade, of taking a guy like Rabbi Akiva and wrapping him in Sefer Torah and having him burnt? What would be the point? What would be the point of you knowing you're a Jew today, of celebrating your Jewishness, if it wasn't to let God's name be known throughout the planet, and ultimately to have a planet characterized by world peace and abundance? This dream of the Messianic redemption, it's a Jewish concept. It's a Jewish dream. It comes from Jews. The fact that it was once tainted and we thought that after the Messiah comes there could be war, that's not Jewish. That wasn't a Jewish concept. The Messiah and the Messianic redemption is about a planet realizing its ultimate dreams of world peace and abundance. Don't think that it's been here for 2,000 years and there's been so much bloodshed. That's not the Messianic redemption at all. It hasn't happened yet. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm not sorry to tell you. I'm happy to tell you that when it does happen, it'll be globally recognized. There won't be a person who will be able to deny it. And it'll be a time where everything is infused with godliness, that even your perception of reality will change. So the fact that you'll be able to look at a tree, from Gimberg, you'll be able to look at a tree, and you'll see godliness in the tree. I don't know on what level, and everything's going to be according to our mode of refinement when we were on this planet, when we were before the exile. It says in Hayom Yom, the Rebbe writes that blessed are these days before the Messianic Redeemer comes, because we can still do work. We can still apply ourselves. Someone had this as their birthday, so I don't understand what's the point of this. So when the Messianic redemption comes, you won't have an evil inclination. Everything will be simple and obvious. You'll choose only godliness. Within godliness, there'll be several levels. There'll be, I think, infinity levels. That's the way God is. But still, nothing will be a challenge anymore. So now that we can apply ourselves, and it's actually hard to light a Chanukah candle, because you have to go out of your way to make sure you're doing it, and to put on tefillin, to keep Shabbos and kosher. This is a great gift from God. And all these things should only strengthen the Jews' faith in God. All these signs that God forbid, they could weaken faith. Like Eli Wiesel, the famous story, came to the Rebbe and he said, after the Holocaust, how can you expect me to believe in God? How can you believe in God? Grand Rebbe. And so the Rebbe shed a tear, it said, and he answered him, who do you want me to believe in, man? I mean, what's the other alternative? I know the potential of human beings. This wasn't it in the Holocaust. But I know God, and I know the potential of human beings because of the Torah and what the Torah says about man. So I'm going to believe in God and His Torah, as opposed to believing that this, what just happened, is a reflection anyway of mankind and what they're capable of. So I encourage you to enjoy your individuality, to express it, to celebrate it, to be proud that you're a Jew, to know that you are an anomaly. You are like a freak of nature. Just the fact that you're a Jew is such a small percentage that you should survive, and your ancestors survive, and everyone should survive. That you should be proud to be a Jew. You should be very, very proud and very happy, and know that it's not one holiday next to the other. Hanukkah is uniquely Jewish. It's 47 years ago. I don't know what the other ones. Maybe it's 2008 years. I don't know exactly when they started counting it, but this is about Jewish identity and Jewish expression, and the acceptance that you are different people. You're a divine people. You're